And if you are just joining us tonight on 11 Alive, we are continuing to follow that breaking news out of Cobb County. 2 sheriff's deputies killed in the line of duty while serving a warrant. We are just getting some brand new information from the sheriff of Cobb County. So we want to walk you through some of the information that we are just getting. And the sheriff describing these 2 deputies as young, bright deputies, saying they had been with the department for 5 years plus, serving with dignity and honor. He did begin with a moment of silence there as well, and listed off some of the agencies that have been supporting them. You saw some of those law enforcement figureheads behind them. There were sheriff's deputies, there were sheriffs and police chiefs that had traveled to Cobb County to support. But getting back to those deputies, what we're told tonight from the sheriff is that those deputies were serving that warrant. They said that the warrant was for a failure to appear for a theft by deception. And when they were attempting to serve that warrant, it sounds like the sheriff is saying that they went to the house, rang the doorbell, there was no answer, and they were heading back to the car when another vehicle came up, and that is when those deputies were shot. And he described it as an ambush. Yeah,
it was an ambush. And you know what was really striking here before we get to Cody Alcorn, he's out there at the scene, is that it was a failure to appear. Theft by deception. It doesn't sound like it was a felony. Doesn't sound like there's anything that's serious. And to take the life of 2 young officers, he says those 2 officers have been on the agency with the department or with the office for more than 5 years. And the 2 of them, they lost 2 wives. They both have 2 wives, and those 2 wives have lost their 2 husbands.
And we want to talk about a little bit the suspects, because they are saying that they are now in custody. They are being questioned by the Cobb County Police Department. The sheriff couldn't say if they lived in that particular home where where that warrant was being served, or if the 2 people are related. That information will come out later. But again, they are not releasing the names of the deputies who were killed tonight. They say they are working to notify the full family, and they're also not releasing the name of the suspects at this point. But the sheriff's saying that their hearts are broken, in Cobb County, and that they need prayers. Also saying that they received a call from Governor Kemp offering help as well.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get to Cody Alcorn. He's live out there at the scene. And Cody, you have been out there since around 8 o'clock right now. What are you seeing? We're looking at some of the video. We can see the law enforcement. They're really heavy-hearted right now. What are you learning tonight?
What we do know is that this was senseless. What we just learned from the sheriff, all of this started over a failure to appear warrant. People are furious tonight in this community that these 2 suspects took it upon themselves to ambush these 2 deputies. And now, as you mentioned, 2 wives tonight will become widows. And this department has lost 2 deputies. You heard the sheriff saying it's his first in 18 months since taking office, and really the first officer shot here in the county. They've had others killed in car crashes. It's heartbreaking. What I'm being told from neighbors is that they broke out all of these windows. They brought in a Bearcat. What I'm being told, we have not been able to confirm this, but neighbors tell me that when the mother got out, she was not helping law enforcement with the layout of this large home. That's why they had to bring in so much reinforcement, because they had nothing to work with. They knew these 2 suspects already ambushed 2 of their deputies. They knew they'd likely try to do it again, so they weren't taking any chances. And you heard the sheriff just mention they had resources from all over the state of Georgia. Fortunately, tonight, those 2 suspects taken into custody without any more loss of life, being questioned right now. But I think it all goes back to what the sheriff said. This was over a failure to appear. These individuals, apparently it was 1 warrant, so it was only for 1 of these suspects, would have went to jail tonight, served a little time, and gotten out probably by tomorrow on this warrant. Now they're looking at spending the rest of their lives behind bars, or maybe in the death penalty if the DA goes after that in the coming days and weeks. We also talked to the landscaper of this home, who confirmed to us that it was a mother and 2 grown kids who lived at this home. So it matches what we are hearing as far as these 2 suspects. It appears they're brothers. I know the sheriff didn't confirm that, but that's coming from the landscaper, who says he's interacted with these 2 individuals. He said they're nice. They brought him water. They've talked to him. No indication they would become these type of individuals that the sheriff described, who took the lives of his 2 deputies here. It's heartbreaking for this entire agency. You heard the sheriff mention the governor on the phone with him tonight, law enforcement across the state reaching out as well. And now 2 women will have to bury their husbands in the coming days. It's just unfathomable here tonight. They woke up just like any other day. These deputies came to do their job. and they were simply serving a warrant. And you saw what the sheriff said. This is what we talked about earlier, Ron and Jennifer, just describing from neighbors. We thought it might have been an ambush because these deputies go through training. They don't just walk up on scenes unprepared. And tonight, all that training, all that preparedness was no match for what they met here on this street, Fenwick Drive, in the Hampton Glen community. So I will tell you, our hearts are with this family, with these deputies. Prayers are with them. It's going to be a long process to recover from this. Sometimes you see agencies lose one, but tonight this agency lost 2 deputies in a matter of seconds here in Marietta.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with those 2 wives, with their family members, and those that they're probably reaching out across the country to let them know what happened for those 2 young officers who lost their lives. Such a tragic, horrible situation. Thanks a lot. We appreciate that, Cody. Also, thank you as well. Hope Ford out there at the scene, too.
And we'll, of course, continue to follow this breaking news story as the days and weeks come ahead and we learn new information. The sheriff saying that they do want to work this and wait and be respectful of the family during this process. So we will, of course, get more details from them in the next few days and hours as well. But we want to thank you so much for being with us for 11 Alive. We will continue to keep you updated on 11alive.com and inside our 11 Alive news app. We'll also have the very latest for you this morning on the 11 Alive Morning News starting at 4:30.